Is it redundant
It
to say that he slept in a bunker? You say he's nuts. I say he's Canadian, and you say he drank a bunch. Is that redundant? Are those just two givens?
Canadian drinker, redundant.
I'm just wondering. Good morning. Welcome to the Wade and Carter Show.
Yeah, we are live from the Atzenhofer studio, as we are
every morning.
Every morning.
Atzenhofer, a South Texas tradition for over 100 years. Get into Atzenhofer this week. Today might be a good day.
Would be a good
to go to atzenhofer.com. Check out the vehicles, including Ash's car of the week, which was a Chevy Colorado pickup.
I wonder if it's still there.
Like 25,000 miles for like 21,000 bucks.
Deal. And it's still there. Yep.
Something like that.
No, is that the one? No, yeah. 104,000 miles.
Wow. 20,000.
20 grand. You're going to get another
700 bucks
plus miles out of that thing. Easily.
No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Wade and Carter weather brought to you by the great folks at AT Deerlam Hay Feed and Ranch Services. It's wet.
72 and raining in Victoria, Texas, heading to a high today of 88. I don't think we're going to get there. I don't think it's going to get to 88 today. It's 100% humidity. I remind myself that we need the rain.
Absolutely. We need the rain.
Don't curse the weather.
No.
Adapt to it. Tomorrow, a high of 83 and expect rain again. Now, it says we only got 13/100ths of an inch of rain. I don't believe that's correct.
I think that's what's still to come today.
Okay. Tomorrow, expecting over half an inch.
Yeah.
61/100ths, which is practically half in Canada.
Pretty close.
But today is a good day to get by Deerlam Feed.
Yeah.
Pick up the 21/7/14 blend, and if you have the stomach for it, put on your what do you call the rubber boots in Canada?
Rubber boots.
There you go. That's why there's Moose Nuts, Ontario. It just makes sense. Isn't there like a word like mucklucks or something?
Those are different.
Okay. How are they different? Are they insulated?
They're more winter boots, yeah.
Okay. Well, you came in today in a full jacket and everything. Overdressed.
It sounded like it was raining harder than
extremely
it was. It was hitting the skylight, so I thought it was raining hard. It wasn't really.
You're at the extreme fringe of middle age. Like you're bordering my geriatric status.
I'll never catch up to you.
No. But if you can go out in the weather.
And there's a look at the current radar.
It's going to rain some more. Is that the next way? It looks like the worst of it's past us.
I could add.
Say that like Scotty.
I think the worst of it's past us, Captain.
There you go.
She's given us all she can give us. She can't give us no more.
I like it. That sounds like Stormy Daniels. But if you can get the 21/7/14 down today, tomorrow's gentle rain should put it into your yard, and you'll be great. Wait, what?
Ricky King, Marvin Mickus, Scott Tomko. Scott says 2.5 inches so far. They're on the podium. Ricky King says, aren't they called galoshes? Galoshes. Galoshes were that little, which all the old folks in Canada also called them rubbers, which we young folks used to snicker at because that had a different meaning.
He said rubbers.
Yep, exactly.
Sure.
But no, the galoshes were that little rubber thing that went over your shoe to protect your shoe.
Right.
Remember those?
Yes.
Yeah.
We didn't have those here. We just put on our Justin Ropers and just went to school.
Daniel White checking in. Wendy Hughes Garcia, Mark Zapata, good morning. Marina, good morning. Justin Glass, Michelle Wilson Hawkins. Yeah, no issues with the rainy weather at all here as well.
I'm going to throw this out there to y'all. Every now and then we like to make a list. I want you to think of words or phrases that have changed meanings through the years. I mean, like things that, I give you an example. I was watching a show the other night, one of the binge series that Dawn and I watch. And the sister-in-law says to the wife, hey, since the guys are out of town, do you want to come over and just watch some Netflix and chill? And the sister-in-law says, that doesn't mean what you think it does. It that's,
Yeah.
Yeah. Tammy Williams, there's one. She said the word gay has totally changed. I think we talk about appropriating. You can't I mean, would you feel comfortable in today's stereotyping, stigmatizing world if I gave you just a black T-shirt and it had a rainbow on it? Would you wear it? You might because I gave it to you, but in general, doesn't that have a stigma attached to it? Or like, oh, he's pro LGBTQ, or he's pro, oh, it's Pride Month, that's why he's wearing that rainbow. Yeah. That's interesting to me. I mean, it's been, if you think about it, unless you want to do a lot of explaining to your young children, you know, the rainbow is kind of lost on our kids.
Yeah. Andrew Alvarez says he didn't wear galoshes. Only old people wear galoshes. The young people just got their high tops wet, their Converse.
Yeah. Toughed it out. Got our Chucks all wet.
Yeah. Remember when in the 80s when Converse came out with their yellow and gold Lakers?
Yeah, Converse All-Stars. And that was after Dr. J. We called him Dr. J's because Dr. J wore the Philadelphia 76ers. He wore the white high top with the
that's all they were. They were either white or the Celtics wore black shoes then.
Yes.
But the Lakers were the first to wear like team color shoes, and the Converse, you know, they were the up. You know, they were the Nike. The Chuck Taylors were made by Converse as well,
and they were your entry model. There was a salesman that used to call on high school team sports back when high schools used to issue shoes to kids. I don't even know if they do that at all anymore. I'm trying to remember if you go to a high school game, if the kids are all wearing the same shoes. I don't know. Just made me think about the
depends on the sport. Baseball teams will do it.
New Balance kind of took over baseball.
Yeah, they kind of did.
Interesting though.
But it was tough for soccer. We didn't buy kids soccer because it would have been a waste of money because not every kid wants to wear Adidas. Not every kid wants to wear Nike. They all wear whatever. So Puma.
Congrats to
Umbro.
Coach Wes Coley and the East Titans as they've now made the I call it the
regional final.
Yeah,
right.
They've got a game that if they win
quarterfinals, crystal map. Yeah. I had this discussion the other day. Thong.
That used to be like a cheap flip-flop, a shower shoe, we called it.
Yeah.
An easy way to bust your fanny is what they were.
My dad used to fix it. He would staple them when they pulled that little thing pulled out from the bottom.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He would just staple it back in with his staple gun.
As a kid, we would go to Garner State Park and lots of state parks, but Garner State Park in particular.
You went to all the state parks?
All of them.
All of them.
And
everyone, they're beautiful.
You would, but when you went down to the community shower, you know, my mom would always say, wear your thongs. And the idea was you didn't want to get like athlete's foot from the tile floor. I can remember as a kid just being like paranoid about it. You know, like I would go, of course I was, I guess, is it wrong? I mean, I was modest. I didn't just walk in. You see guys now just walk in and just drop trowel and get in the shower, but I would get in the shower, you know, and then take off my little shorts and there was a place to hang them. No fear of being molested in the bathroom or anything. And
my only fear was somebody's going to play a prank and grab my shorts and I'd be running back to the campsite naked.
And I'll get to that fear in a second, but you know, you would take out one foot out of your shorts and put it back on the thong because you just did not want to get athlete's foot.
It was worse than the plague.
It is a shame, and it's not lost on me that the reality of our world revolves around bad people doing bad things, but it's sad to me. I'll give you the latest example. Just yesterday, we were at HEB, and you go into the restroom there by the pharmacy, and a little guy, maybe 5-6 years old, came around the corner as I was going in. I said, "Hey, buddy," and like he immediately averted his eyes and looked at the ground and like hustled out of there,
ran away yelling, "Stranger danger! Stranger danger!"
I think it's sad.
It is
the innocence lost because when I was a kid,
but that's on the parents. That's not on the kid.
It's on society too, right? Because either it didn't happen. It certainly didn't happen as much, I don't believe, when I was a kid. But maybe also nobody talked about it because back then adults were always right. Remember that? I mean, if an adult tells you to do it, you do it, and I'll deal with them. And the reality is adults aren't always right, and there are real problems. But it's unfortunate that a child in a public restroom is basically scared.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
Well, but for that age, that's not even on. Well, it is, I guess, a little bit on society, but that's on the parents. Because if you look at the crime data, like the fear that parents have to let their kids play in the streets is completely irrational. The rate of stranger abductions haven't changed since the 1970s in this country. There's no more. The reason for the fear now should have been the reason for the fear then, and there was no fear then. Right? We ran the streets as a kid. You ran the streets. It's never changed. Sure. There's just a perception that it's changed and it's more dangerous to be on the streets. But the statistics and the data don't show it. It's just
people just
irrational
don't randomly get kidnapped anymore. No. I think
they never did.
Most child disappearances are by somebody the child knows.
The numbers prove that too. Yeah. No, they never did. But parents don't. And think about it. We don't build schools in neighborhoods anymore where kids can walk to them. Everybody drives their kid.
Right.
You wonder why they've got to fix the parking lots at Vickers with this bond.
Because everybody drives.
Everybody drives their kid to school. Even the kids that live across the street, they probably get a ride.
Yeah. Speaking of disappear, Thomas Massie out.
I have a feeling he will be very, very vocal till the end of his term in.
Yeah.
Well, I guess January.
You and I agree that Massie may have been kind of one of the good guys in Congress. He's kind of like the Republicans' John Fetterman. He bragged about voting with the president 92% of the time. The other 8, a little bit of a challenge for Thomas. And I think where he got in trouble is it's one thing to vote against, say, what the team is doing, to vote against MAGA, if you will. But it's another thing to be so vocal about why you're doing so. And he became kind of a cheerleader for the opposition at times. At any rate, Donald Trump endorsed his opponent, and his opponent won.
I mean, it's hard to know anything about his opponent because he wouldn't debate and he didn't do much campaigning. But if you want campaign finance reform, this is the case study for it. So much money flowed into this one race from out of the district, from out of Kentucky, from out of the United States. This is campaign finance reform.
Right.
If you're not in that district, you should not be allowed to make a donation. Maybe not in that state. The district might be too restrictive. But maybe if you're not in Kentucky, you shouldn't have been able to donate to that race.
Andrew Alvarez says he's not fine. And he goes, I feel like he'll make a Senate run.
Yeah.
Rhinos are being purged. I didn't think he was a rhino.
No, he's not a rhino. That's a misnomer with Massie. He's against big spending. He's against wars. He's against the military-industrial complex. He's against every industrial complex that the government has created. He's anything but a rhino. And I have a feeling the rhinos are starting to run Donald Trump. That's my sense.
You had me until then. That's an incorrect statement. But Donald Trump, I mean, was Massie probably
92% of the time he voted with Donald Trump.
Right, or with the Republicans.
Yeah.
Because Donald Trump doesn't vote on those things. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't think Massie was a rhino. I think he was not a MAGA guy. Good morning, Matt Boucher. Hope you're doing good, buddy.
But here's the thing. He is a MAGA guy. If you really think about it, he's for America first. He was for smaller government. And getting the budget under control. Those are the three staples of MAGA when Donald Trump first ran in 2016.
Right. Now, Donald Trump, very exciting to see him back on the construction site of his ballroom. That he does point out won't be his ballroom. His term will be coming to an end by the time it's complete. He said this is a gift to future presidents, not on taxpayer dollars. Yeah.
34 million in that race to unseat Massie as the congressional representative for that district of Kentucky. Yeah. More money spent per voter in that district than what it cost Donald Trump to win the presidency per voter.
Think about that.
Think about that.
Wendy Hughes says Massie isn't a rhino. He just can't be bought or controlled. That's fair.
Yeah. No, Massie is a libertarian for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. He leans more libertarian, and that's the problem. I read a good opinion piece yesterday, and libertarians are losers when it comes to
party politics.
They are. Fact, and it's a fact. They hold their ground, and maybe Massie is guilty of not understanding when to vote with the team and when not to vote with the team. But I think his stance on releasing all the Epstein files is what did him in here.
Yeah, and I still tell you that I wonder what many of you conjure up when we say we found the Epstein files. I mean, do you picture a room that maybe has a filing cabinet in it and that there's just stuff in there? Because it's just not the case. It's not the case. And there are people, Oprah Winfrey, who, by the way, I don't think is a flesh-eating pedophile, who are mentioned a bunch of times in the Epstein files. You know, you look at it and you go, you got to squint just right to decide this is part of the Epstein files.
Well, the problem with the Epstein files is if you were mentioned in any way, shape, or form in the same sentence as Epstein, I mean, if somebody wanted to say, oh, the Wade and Carter show is talking about the Epstein files, we'd end up being in the Epstein files.
That's right.
It can be that innocuous.
And if we got an email in past from, say, Jeffrey Epstein, hey, you guys are talking about me. I know what y'all are all about. I know who you are. Y'all need to cease and desist. Somebody could turn around and say, man, Epstein told those guys, basically threatened those guys. I wonder what he's got on them. I wonder what's in the files about Wade and Carter. It really comes down to, are you able, and we live in a society where I can accuse you of anything, and now, sadly, you're guilty until you prove yourself to be innocent. I've lived that. I've had people say, well, he's a racist. Well, how do you respond to that? How do you prove that you're not a racist? Do you go and get some pictures made of you having dinner with a black guy? And then do people say, oh, so you think you have dinner with a black guy and now you're not a racist? It just proves you're even more racist. You're trying to, there's no way.
You're not wrong.
So you turn around and, I just ask you, had you ever heard about Donald Trump molesting young children? Are we so depraved as a society that we just believe, we just accept? You see it all the time on social media. I'll never vote for the party that put a pedophile back in office. Brian Small says, wait, you had dinner with a black guy? You know what? I have dinner with so many people, I don't typically look at their pigment. I just don't.
Matt Oker says, so many of the files were so heavily redacted. How can any logical person make a meaningful determination of their content?
True story.
I'll go a step
further. But who redacted them?
Yeah,
the government?
Yeah.
Did
I'll
Trump
go a step
redact
further
them?
Because if the redactions that they've redacted of the files they've released are any indication, the argument that says, well, if we release these files, you'll know who we're talking about. Bull crap. Because they black out every name. And I couldn't tell you, reading some of those files, who they're talking about with the names blacked out. That's just a cop-out. Redact the names and let it all. We're going to protect the victims. From what? Yeah. There's a bunch of victims telling you to release the files.
Wendy Hughes Garcia nails it. Comment of the day, folks, right there. The Epstein files has basically become a 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon scenario, or McCarthyism-esque witch hunt.
Yeah, and Boebert,
I agree 100%.
And Boebert, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and Thomas Massie are the witch hunt victims in this case.
Yeah.
And it's funny. Donald Trump will praise John Fetterman because he breaks rank with the Democrats.
True that.
He votes for the Democrats about 92% of the time. But Thomas Massie is the evil person because he votes Republican 92% of the time.
Right.
Make that make sense. One guy's a hero for breaking rank 8% of the time, and the other guy is vilified as the devil for doing the same 8% of the time.
Right. I guess
that's my comment on that.
The 8% of the time, it's kind of like,
But did it affect anything? No, because I guarantee you, the 8% of the time that Thomas Massie didn't vote with Republicans, I bet you the legislation still passed or failed, depending on the votes,
regardless of his
vote.
The difference is when Massie. Fetterman gets praise because it's like those times that a wild animal doesn't do what a wild animal naturally does, right? The time that the crocodile lets go of the baby wildebeest, like, wow, that's weird. Whereas Massie is the guy who lets the animals go by.
The crocodile had some sympathy for the baby wildebeest.
Yeah. The wildebeest, long renowned as the Big Mac of the Serengeti. I mean, everything eats the wildebeest.
Replete with special sauce.
Oh, if you watch National Geographic, it's amazing that prior to the rainy season, that the wildebeest ever get anywhere. When they go to the drinking hole, when they do their heads, after they go to the water, they're like, they're trying to get a drink, but they got to keep looking. And they're worried about the lion that's over there on the bluff looking at them, and they're hunting in packs, and there's like 4 lioness trying to get that one baby wildebeest, and all the wildebeest are around it. And while they're doing that, up comes the crocodile and drags mama into the water with the death roll.
Well, I never figured out how the wildebeest got much water when it lifted its head and all the water's running out anyway. But
yeah.
Well, and think about it, Matt. They came after Hagen too in this city. Same thing. He was a lone dissenting voice all the time, and then they finally found somebody to run against him. Oh, who was that? Was that Lofgren? Is that who voted or ran against Hagen? I don't know.
I don't know. I'd never miss the opportunity to point out about Mark Lofgren that he's never met a city controlling expense that he wasn't fired up about. He will vote
for expansion thereof.
Anything that raises,
despite running taxes. As a fiscal conservative, who said he was going to be the watchdog.
I just want to fix the streets. I just want to fix the streets at Castle Hills West. Yeah.
Oh, it was Jan Scott that beat Hagen. Thank you.
Man, you look back and what a city. What about, I'll ask you this though. Of course, you live in the city now. You're a property owner in the city. We've had some projects and things done like the Justice Center, like the pavilion.
You think we'll ever get an actual number on what that cost to build?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I've been told upwards of $70 million.
That's the number I've heard too. But twice the initial budget.
Has it affected us? I mean, I don't know. I'm being sincere. I don't think my tax bill went up noticeably over that.
I don't know.
And it may be that they nickel and dime you to death. I'm not saying they don't. I'm just saying I like where we're at as a city right now with Dwayne Crocker and the current council and Jesus Garza much better than I do the stagnant, boring Paul Pulisic, Charmel Garrett. It seemed like decades. It wasn't, but it seems like it.
And yet nothing's changed.
Right.
The population's still not growing.
We just have nicer stuff that nobody uses.
Do we? Where's the community center project? We voted, the city passed that bond we're almost, 9 months beyond and nothing's been done on that?
Yeah. Greg Garcia says that's been true since the 90s. I'll go further back. I got out of high school in 1981 and I left here, which, by the way, neener. I'm the guy that's not going to die of Victoria's cancer, because I left for 40 years, 30 years, really 30 years. I didn't stay here and breathe the southeastern breeze from Dow and all that for all those years. And I didn't drink the water. I mean, Victoria has to me. I could be wrong. It happened once. I think Victoria has an abnormally high propensity for folks having cancer.
It seems that way. I'd like to. I mean, if Commander was here, he could run the data for us and find out. The one that's always struck me more so than that, Lou Gehrig's disease. I think at one point there were 6 people in this town that I knew or knew of
that had ALS.
And
can you even tell me what ALS is? Can you say it? I don't know what it is. That's why they called it Lou Gehrig's disease. Yeah. What are the odds of Lou Gehrig getting Lou Gehrig's
amyotrophic
disease?
Lateral sclerosis, I believe.
Come on. It's a very slow, painful, miserable death.
And growing up through college, prior to moving here, I knew one person. One person. I grew up in a city of Calgary at one point was 300,000 people. And by the time I left there, it was 800,000 people. And I didn't even know anybody in that city that had it. One of my good friends in college's mom passed away from it. That's at Washington State. That's how
it's
one
debilitating.
person. And at one point here, 6 people in this town had it at the same time. That to me is an anomaly that should have been studied. 60,000 people and you got 6 of them with a disease that doesn't affect that many statistically around the world.
Tammy Keeling with a solid question. Where is Commander?
We've been asking.
Nobody knows.
For a long time. Nobody knows.
Not to mention, I'm going to go out on a limb and tell you he's being derelict in his duties.
Yeah. Matt Oker brings up a good point. Government building costs are absolutely insane. They should get out of the building and property management business. I'll go a step further. They build buildings that cost 2 to 3 times as much as a private industry will build those buildings, and then they've brainwashed the public, the majority of the public, to believing that these buildings only have a 50-year lifespan. But you go and build a Devon Energy Tower. That thing ain't going to last just 50 years before Devon's going, wow, we need a new tower.
Right.
No. They're going to build that thing to last as long as it can.
Brian Small possibly calling for a vote of confidence for the Commander. We love the Commander. The Commander just, I don't know. He's doing Commander things. He should be here. Your audience awaits, Commander.
I would have thought Fauci would have found those numbers interesting.
Yeah.
Christy Thurman, who's going to study that in Victoria? I just throw it out there. I'm not a guy who has the ability to do that sort of thing, to be honest. So, should we take our first break?
Is ALS Lou Gehrig's disease in Canadian? Solid question by J-Dub. Jonathan Williams comes in.
Yeah, it was known as that growing up. Absolutely. Paravita Wellness, get in, get healthy. I've got to go in today and pick up my meals for the week.
I got to know today is Wacky Wing Wednesday.
Yeah, it is. So get to Paravita Wellness if you want to eat healthy.
It's also called a Wednesday.
Oh, a lot of Wednesdays today.
Let me find Chopping Block. Here we go. Chopping Block Memorial Day sale alert. Happy Memorial Day week. Ribeyes for $14. Burger sales. Wagyu hot dogs.
Those Wagyu hot dogs are good.
Are they?
Yeah.
Is that not kind of a? I mean, because you know how hot dogs are made.
When you well,
It's what comes out at the basement level after everything's been cut off.
Yeah, the lips and the buttholes, right? That's
right,
it.
but it's of a really fat cow.
So how do you get chicken lips? If you have chicken hot dogs, how do the chicken?
The lips are underneath the beak. Free buns with a purchase. That's how expensive those are. Friday, Saturday, fresh sausage
daily.
They are
so good, Muffy.
So you get the hot dogs on Friday or Saturday, you get free buns.
Yeah, there you go.
That's hard to beat. There's Cody Bauman checking in. Go up and we're having fun today. We're being polite today. Don't push it. Tammy Keeling says, guess you aren't paying him enough. Spoken like a former school board member. Just throw money at the problem. Just throw more money at the problem. The good news is we don't tax anybody to pay the commander. So you have that going on. Stephanie Kai says, it's interesting. Bill Gates gave money to Moderna to develop a new vaccine 4 months ago for the new little outbreak going on. Coincidence? No.
I find it.
What are the odds that they had hantavirus test kits on the boat? Folks, Chesnick Furniture inviting you in because you just always do better at Chesnick.
Go see Bobby Leon.
Bobby Leon and his crew bringing you joy. American-made best furniture. Bruce Woods, he of Thailand, have eaten duck beaks. Just saying. I bet they're crunchy.
My dogs have eaten duck beaks
tonight.
It is tonight. Oh yeah. Now you're
go.
A bully.
The protagonist of the program, Timmy Keeling, says, "Silly dig. What a bully. Yeah. What an idiot." Palace Bingo tonight, where friends meet friends. Come on in. We're going to be there.
Yep. It's Wade and Carter Bingo night.
Come on out and hang out with us.
Yeah, we'll have fun.
USA.
We'll stay dry.
Foundation Repair, 578 Home. Give Charlie Garcia and his team a call. They'll come out and level your home. USA Foundation Repair. The ads and offer vehicle of the week, $20,700. It's a Chevy Colorado. 21 Chevy Colorado. It's a good looking truck, kind of a gray.
Yeah.
Very nice. Check it out at Atzenhofer.
It's got nice window bars in the back.
There you go.
Keep your cargo from sliding through your back window. It's a nice looking truck.
No, it is a nice little truck. And look, it's not all dinged up.
No.
It's in good shape.
Yeah, in very good shape. We could show the folks that picture.
You can. You're good at that.
Do it right now. Boom, 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 boom. There you go.
There you go.
There it is, folks.
It's a nice. Can you change the pictures in real time while you do that? Like, can you show them the vehicle?
I certainly can.
I think that is so cool that you can do that. Dun-dun-dun-dun. It's a nice little pickup. Under $21,000. Perfect.
Yeah. 100,000 miles on it, but like I said, that thing's going to get 150,000.
Oh, it'll go forever.
Yeah, if you're going to buy it for your kid in college or high school, this will be their car till they get into adulthood.
There you go.
So
plenty of room, plenty of room for school stuff.
Nice little amenities.
There you have it.
There you go. Done. Just like that.
Yep. Do I have thin skin?
Sometimes.
Yeah. Well, only when I'm right. Don't come at me unless you're actually loaded to do so.
There was something up here that, Stephanie Connie's comments about Bill Gates. I find it, well, and again, it shouldn't surprise me because it's completely hypocritical, though, that the left is clamoring for the removal of RFK Jr. as Director of Health and Human Services, but then they trust a guy like Bill Gates who has as much knowledge of science as they claim RFK doesn't.
Bill Gates is nothing but rich.
Yeah.
By the way, if you want to, I'll give an acquiescence to the left. I don't believe in taxing the rich simply because they're rich. Bill Gates employs tens of thousands of people. He took the risk. He took advantage of opportunities that he found. Proud of him.
I wonder.
Tax all of his money.
Yeah, I wonder if he's going to leave Seattle. That'll be interesting since they just implemented a tax on anybody. Well, he hides his income. I bet you he doesn't make $1 million a year anymore to get taxed. What is it? I think I think the total tax rate on somebody making that kind of money in Seattle is now 18%. It's the highest rate in the country because they just slapped a almost 10% tax on anybody making $1 million a year there. So in Seattle, but I bet you Bill Gates has created enough foundations and hides all his money and puts it there that he doesn't have an income anymore.
Yeah, he just creates a not-for-profit organization and then makes himself the CEO.
First came the Beyond Meat. Now apparently Colossal Biosciences say they have created an artificial chicken egg using an artificial eggshell, and they've successfully hatched 26 chickens, basically using a 3D printer to create the shell.
And then they use DNA gathered over the years to, makes perfect sense. If they're doing this and where they can talk about it, it was a 12-foot tall. So it's just a huge ostrich. That's what a moa was.
Yeah, they want to revive New Zealand's moa. This is Jurassic Park coming to life, folks.
And by the way, it's a bad idea.
This bird was extinct 600 years ago. So, in New Zealand. So you can't really blame the humans in the Industrial Revolution because there was really none of that going on in New Zealand 600 years ago.
In the 1400s.
People didn't even know about New Zealand 600 years ago.
Yeah.
We didn't know about it. We were sending all our convicts and criminals to Australia.
Right.
Because we couldn't find New Zealand. And this bird still ended up extinct.
Yeah.
I just can't be anything good about that, is there?
No, it doesn't make any sense. I don't understand I get it. You do science because it's there, but come on.
Yeah.
I saw one yesterday about the conspiracy theorist. It said that when these rockets take off, have you ever noticed that they always perform to an arc, and that's because, and the guy said the rockets always take off from Cape Canaveral. That was my first ding because Tesla's right down the road there, SpaceX. But pointed out that these people don't really go into space. They go up and the rocket arches because the rocket goes over and basically splashes down in the Bermuda Triangle and
disappear.
And it just disappears. And that people,
Speaking of which, were you as terrified of the Bermuda Triangle growing up?
Oh, yeah.
Think about it. Leonard Nimoy, what was the show he did? Unsolved Mysteries that was Robert Stack.
Robert Stack.
Yeah, something like that. But
get me Rex Kramer.
But the Bermuda Triangle was every kid's fear.
And it
in the 70s and 80s. And what happened to it?
There could be like magnetic anomalies in there. Pilots have talked about that. They go in and all of a sudden their gyro would start going crazy, or their ships would say that their compass would just start spinning. Yep. You couldn't tell where they were going.
Wasn't Starsky and Hutch?
I remember Starsky and Hutch. But with the red and white Grand Torino.
Yeah. But why are we not afraid of the Bermuda Triangle anymore?
Thank you, Matt Boucher.
Thank you.
He watches it still today.
But why are we not afraid of the Bermuda Triangle anymore?
Because now we have.
Did we just avoid it?
Video, like people get their phone out and go, I'm flying through the Bermuda Triangle. Nothing to see here.
Maybe, I don't know, but I had that conversation the other day. What happened to In Search of the Bermuda Triangle no longer being a threat? That should be the update on In Search of.
Micah Patton says, what about quicksand? Quicksand does exist, but nobody disappears in it up to their neck.
No, but think about it. Every sitcom in the 70s, from Gilligan's Island to the Brady Bunch,
Bermuda Triangle?
No, quicksand.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
They all had episodes of that stuff.
Blazing Saddles.
Somebody was stuck in quicksand.
Blazing Saddles.
Yep. Yeah. Or the La Brea tar pits. Somebody always got stuck in the tar pits.
That was the Flintstones.
Was the Flintstones. We digress, and there's lots to talk about.
Bruce Flintstone's in Huggy Bear. Yeah. What so back then, right? The black guy, he was dumb, right? He was easily coerced, and he was a snitch. That's how they portrayed black people on TV. Much like, so we're consistent. Just like now, a white man on TV is, how out of touch is he? A white man on TV is going to be heterosexual. What a weirdo.
And a bumbling idiot.
And he's a bumbling idiot. Nothing. That's just the way it is.
No, we just took the stereotype and moved it from
black
one
to white.
Another. Yeah. Any surprise here? Because I think you and I called this one. Australia, they banned social media for minors.
Yeah.
And now other countries and jurisdictions are looking to them because they did it. And Australia is saying, well, it was easy to pass the law, enforcement of it, maybe not so much. And now they're saying, really, this is probably something parents should take care of and be more aware of than us doing the law, because the online services still have very, very easy to bypass age verification systems. And because they're not going to acquiesce to the 30 million people in Australia, they really don't care in the global scheme of things.
Right.
When Facebook has, 3 billion users, they don't care about the 30 million in Australia or whatever their number is. It's not enough to make them want to change what they're doing. But now Australia is going, well, it was a lot easier to pass the law and enact it than it actually is to enforce the law and make the law actually do what we intended it to do. So, but you and I called that. We told everybody back then, parents, do your job. Pay attention to what your kid's doing.
Did you see that video I sent you the other day? I send you little reels every now and then.
Which one?
There was one
There's
where
so many of them.
A black lady was taking a city council meeting.
Oh, in Chicago.
And took them. Yeah. She was like, y'all quit with all this, poor me BS. And it was just the same message you get here every day. But what made it interesting is it came from a black female. And she was like, what? Do you really believe in this day and age that a black person can't get an ID? I mean, come on. And, when we say it, it's racism. When a black woman says it, and I don't know where I stand on somebody like Candace Owen right now, but I said for years, her message is no different than ours. It's just that she's a different messenger. She speaks against stereotype. So because she talks against because she talks about personal responsibility and the things that she speaks of, they're like, wow. Now, what the
why was she hated by the Democrats? Because
Uncle Tom. She's Uncle Tom.
She's Uncle Tom. That's what
That's
they called her.
Yep. And if we say it, we're just racist. Well, we expect you to be racist. And then they take that air of superiority. Well, of course you're racist. You don't even know it. And that's no different than me saying, well, of course you can't get on the internet. You're too stupid. That's what Joe Biden said about him. So the next thing you know, they all vote Democrat. Yes, sir. Take care of me, Joe Biden's.
And that's what the woman in Chicago was talking about.
What have they done to take care of you?
Yeah.
What have the Democrats ever done for blacks?
They tell you, she said, paraphrasing, they tell you you're too stupid to get an ID and to vote, but then you go and vote for them.
Right.
And they don't. She goes, I went and voted. I got an ID. She even asked everybody in the city council meeting. Nobody raised a hand in the video from the people you can see. How many of you don't have an ID? Not one hand went up.
Right. It's a stereotype. Yeah. It's a way to hold the black community down.
I think this was last week. I think the date stamp was May 14th. It was a Cook County meeting and public comment period. It was pretty good. If you haven't
sent you another one, a lady who's a reporter, apparently of some renown in the UK. I don't know her. I didn't recognize her name, but she was talking about radical Islamic like rape and abduction teams. And she said that there are groups of 8 or 10 men, multiple cells of this in the UK. And that one who's a little more Western and, maybe the young, good looking guy lures a younger, like a teen away from a group, and she gets abducted and then sexually abused for a period of time by this entire gang of people. And then she's sold into the sex trade all over Europe. And I don't think that America realizes that was a systemic takeover of the UK. It has happened. And she said, we're in a terrible spot. If you speak out against it, you're a phobe of some type, whether you're Islamophobe or whatever. She said it's terrible. She goes, and we were told not to report on it because if you upset, this is a quote, if you upset the Islamic vote, people like Starmer don't get reelected. They don't want to do anything to upset the Islamic vote because it's become a major part of Britain's new terrible culture.
Well, but isn't that what all politics has become? In a sense, you don't want to upset those that control your ability to get reelected. So nobody does anymore.
Right.
See Thomas Massie.
Well, and the problem is that those that see it as the problem that it is understand that in the new world, if you will, NATO may not be as reliable an ally as it has been, and that these other countries that we historically have had great relationships with, those relationships can change as more and more outsiders, if you will, become integral to their governance.
I wonder if the Supreme Court's ruling or recent ruling is going to change things. And I wonder if Ilhan Omar is worried about her seat in the Somalian enclave in Minneapolis.
I don't know.
I wonder if that'll change that at all.
Would they? She has a very carved up district.
That's what I'm saying. I wonder if they're going to take a look at that one. Were you surprised? I was surprised by this yesterday. I don't think we've really talked about this, but President Trump decided to go ahead and endorse our current Attorney General, Ken Paxton, for the Republican nominee for Texas Senate to replace John Cornyn, the incumbent. I mean, here's the rhino in the rhino bunch in John Cornyn.
Yeah, I don't understand. I mean, I was at a meeting when they asked the question, anybody tell me anything that John Cornyn's ever done for you? Now, he says he votes with the president, whatever it is.
97% of the time or something like that. So is he mad at him because of the 3%? I don't know.
Or is he mad at him because, he was against the border wall. He's very, very soft on immigration and other things. He certainly wasn't vocal about, he's nowhere near the Senator Ted Cruz is, not even close. But Senate Republican Susan Collins is a Republican from Maine, senator, says John Cornyn is an outstanding senator and deserved, in my judgment, the president's support. Obviously, it's the president's call, but I'm disappointed that he did it. It may be the president's call.
He's coming for you next, Susan Collins.
Right. But that doesn't mean that Texans are going to vote Cornyn out. I agree with you. It's still neck and neck. I do think that the president's endorsement carries more weight this term than it did in his first. And
it's interesting because I think in the last election, 2024 election, I don't know that his endorsement was as strong as it has been through, the Republican primaries and the midterms here.
And I saw a survey poll said 7 out of 10 Americans who side with or call themselves Republicans, 7 out of 10 approve of the job the president's doing. What did Christy Thurman say? You're moving around so much there. Monty Howard, what did he say? He's always thoughtful.
The rape gangs have been a thing in Britain for many years, and liberal governments won't do anything about it.
There you go.
And there's starting to be a problem in Sweden too, apparently.
Yeah. I mean, is there a whiter place on the planet than Sweden?
Norway, Finland, maybe. Russia.
Bunch of blonde-haired.
Russia's pretty white.
Blue-eyed people.
What else is happening in the world today?
Andrew Alvarez joked, it sounds like a Friday show. Which, by the way, I'm glad that those of you that listen faithfully understand there is a Friday show. Yeah. But at the same time, it's a slow news Wednesday.
Well, I mean, there wasn't, but we just kind of got off topic a little bit, but not really.
We never do that.
The polls show that within the margin of error, it's a neck and neck race between Cornyn and Paxton, and the polls show the same thing with whoever the Republican is and Tallarico. Tallarico apparently, I mean, even though $100 million already been spent through the primaries for this Texas Senate race, for whatever reason, Tallarico's out of money. I got 3 texts from him this week alone on top of the 3 last week asking for money. I report them all as spam.
Tallawacko.
Because I've never asked for him to contact me about anything.
He's even more bizarre than Beto.
And in full transparency, I did the same thing when somebody from Ken Paxton
asked for
spam
money.
text me and asked me for money.
Yeah.
I don't play that game. Mainly because I don't have any money. But anyway, I think it's funny because you've even had some Democrat senators express shock and awe over the president endorsing Ken Paxton. And that tells you just how tight-knit that 100-person group is and how they're willing to protect their own.
Well, but
they don't want Paxton to go in and be the Republican Fetterman.
And there's 100 of them that do nothing. So,
what they passed yesterday, a resolution by what was it, 50 to 43 or 57 to 43 or something to limit President Trump's ability to wage war without. We just saw the headline this morning, but it was so fleeting, it couldn't really tell.
But do you agree? I mean, doesn't he have a specified window where his War Powers Act only gives him 60 days? I know he has to inform Congress. I don't know if he has to get the approval of Congress.
I think he needs the approval to go to war. If he keeps calling it
skirmish.
Whatever.
We have this situation.
Yeah. I'm
Which, by the way, I don't want to take from any president. I mean, Barack Obama utilized it, and I thought at times utilized it well. I thought he did good. Hey, and while we do that, folks, Veracruz asking you to come in today is Caldo Wednesday. A great rainy day,
that'd be
steaming bowl of Caldo. That'd be great. I ate there yesterday. We get the nachos, split it. It's fantastic. Allen's Wrecker Service. You're going to be on wet roads today. Be careful. Allen encouraging you to not need a tow. But if you need a tow, call 578-6300.
I'll tell you right now, the roads are slick. I had to put my truck into 4-wheel drive because my back tires were spinning, just taking off from a light. I wasn't flooring it to get here because I was running late.
And that's interesting, Paul, because I've seen you drive hunkered over your steering wheel, cursing at everyone that gets close to your vehicle.
Well, I don't want to give that airbag a chance to fully explode, right?
That'd be it would just blow right through me. Went Services for all your electrical needs. I saw Aaron Went yesterday. All this lightning going on. If your power goes out, your Generac, American-made generator installed turnkey by Went Services just kicks on. Boom. You're set. Look at that. Go back to that little house. Look at that. So in no time they're going to want to close in that patio and have an extra space.
Yeah.
Went Services inviting you to come in. Parvita Wellness and the Vita Cafe telling you to get in and get healthy. You can get meals to eat at home. They make breakfast meals. She makes a protein waffle.
It's really good.
Really good.
Yeah.
And high protein, low carb. It's a healthy alternative. And then you can go to the Vita Cafe for lunch for the same money you're going to spend at Wadasack, Heart Attack in a Bag. You can go to the Vita Cafe and eat healthy.
So, Senate advancing a resolution, according to CBS News, to limit President Trump's war powers in Iran yesterday, marking a breakthrough for Democrats.
There's Susan Collins.
Yeah, she voted for the resolution, along with Lisa Murkowski of Alaska, Rand Paul of Kentucky, and Bill Cassidy of Louisiana. John Fetterman, the sole vote among Democrats to oppose it.
He's a logical human being.
So 3 Republicans. John Cornyn did not vote. I don't know why. Was he too busy campaigning?
I don't know. Why didn't he vote with the president like he says he does all the time?
And the resolution would direct the president to remove the United States Armed Forces from hostilities within or against Iran unless explicitly authorized by a declaration of war or a specific authorization for use of military force. So basically, the resolution is trying to force the president to ask Congress for approval.
Chuck Schumer says, vote by vote. Democrats are breaking through Republicans' wall of silence on Trump's illegal war. Today proved our pressure is working. Republicans are starting to crack, and momentum is building to check him. We are not letting up. You see how it's Republicans against Democrats as opposed to right against wrong? I don't know the nuances of that War Powers Act, but come on.
Tires are pretty good, Scott.
Yeah.
They're not that old. It's just the oil coming up.
Donald Trump gave a construction update this morning live on Fox about the new ballroom. Yeah. What did he tell a reporter? He said, I doubled the size of it.
And she says, so you doubled the cost? He goes, no, I doubled the size. You're a stupid person or something like that.
He's a bully, thin-skinned.
Yeah. So apparently, and Trump also claiming he was 1 hour away from bombing Iran, but called off the attack.
And what's nice is you're seeing a change in the Middle East, the UAE, the Saudis, others saying, hey, please hold off, because it's going to fall to us to rebuild this desert.
So I'd like to know, I guess, the Senate advanced a resolution, but what does it actually mean? Is it going to force the president to do something, or is it just?
It's just be it resolved.
Yeah.
Whereas and therefore and whereby we say that Donald Trump should come to us for our sage advice on all matters of national security.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's see.
It is an interesting deal because for years I've said John Cornyn needs to go. Ken Paxton saddled with, okay, so his marriage fell apart. I mean, who in D.C. really?
Michael Cloud.
Yeah. But,
Chip Roy.
But they're unicorns. Who else hasn't had their marriage fall apart? And I'm not electing a pastor. Okay. The other thing is he had the issues regarding like Securities and Exchange Commission where apparently he was trying to get people to invest in a real estate deal without telling them that he was being paid to do that. And
Facebook does that all the time. Invest here. But
he also was not a licensed securities broker.
No.
So he fought that for a decade. Yeah, got some community service, settled it. I don't know. Yeah. To me, it's just very advanced handcuffing politics.
You see this idiot up at Grapevine Lake decided to test out the Wade mode in Tesla's Cybertruck. This is supposedly there to assist you if you happen to encounter high water, not to see if it can be next amphibian vehicle. And this guy drove it into Grapevine Lake, and now he's been arrested. They found the truck in the lake on Monday.
Yeah, smart guy.
Must have a lot more money than brains, because those trucks are damn near $100,000, and he just decides to drive it into a lake.
How about this? Woman dies after plunging into uncovered manhole outside luxury stores. So apparently water was up. She must not have seen the manhole.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to go to the story here on Fox.
It says no arrests have been made.
Well, somebody could have removed the lid on, somebody could have removed the manhole cover.
She was found unconscious and unresponsive inside an uncovered manhole on 5th Avenue near 52nd Street. That's probably a popular area.
It is a very popular area. It's up near Central Park.
Yeah. Police responded to a 911 call for an aided person and arrived to find the woman inside the manhole within the confines of the Midtown North precinct.
I think Tiffany and Company is up that way. I think Trump Towers might be up around that way.
There you have it. Bad.
Yeah.
Sad deal.
Yeah, they don't know why the manhole was uncovered, but apparently she parked her car and then stepped out.
Right outside the Cartier store.
Could you even imagine that?
Versace.
Video from the area, according to Fox News, appears to show the manhole cover becoming dislodged after a multi-axle truck turned onto East 52nd Street from 5th Avenue and drove over it. So there you go.
Oh, it was on the street side. Yeah. It wasn't like, in my mind, it was on the sidewalk. Okay.
Yeah. No, so
New York, that's an old picture, I guess.
That's Christmas-ish, yeah. Well, that's the only time New York actually looks nice.
Brian Small made it politically correct, called it Person's Hole.
So are we there yet? I think we're there yet. Top of the hour.
It is top of the hour, folks. We hope that you guys have a great day. Thank you for listening to Wade and Carter. Thank you for your support. All of our sponsors are very special to us. They understand the value of an open forum, a sharing of ideas. I hope you have a great day. I hope you're safe on the roads. Be careful, and we will see you. Is it tomorrow tomorrow we're joined by Ryan
Chismark? No, I think Friday.
Friday to talk property taxes.
Yep.
He's a great source of info. We're going to have him on for as long as he wants. Have a great day. Bye, folks.
Bye, folks.